Beloved comrades, amid the relentless storm of exploitation and betrayal, the Indian working class finds itself stripped of its hard-won rights, betrayed by the very institutions meant to protect them. The ruling elitist, with their capitalist agenda and loyal psychopaths, unleash attack after attack, seeking to crush the spirit of those who toil. Capitalist democracy has bared its fangs, revealing its true nature, a servant of industrial monopolies and corporate greed. The spontaneous cries of resistance, though brave, lack the guiding force of central united ideological leadership. Left unguided, these movements falter, leaving the working masses vulnerable to the ruthless onslaught of oppressive governments. The mainstream left, mired in parliamentarian haute politics, has lost its revolutionary essence, failing to rise up to the call of history. Their inaction has allowed the dust of fascism to rise, a suffocating cloud that blinds the masses, obscuring the path to their liberation. But comrades, despair not. In this time of peril, the central organization of Indian trade unions, nurtured by the great working class thinker and visionary Comrade Sankar Shing himself, stands resolute, a beacon amidst the chaos. It is a force that refuses to yield. With steadfast leadership, our unions, particularly in Tamil Nadu, have become pillars of hope, showing the path forward for the working class of India. As we prepare for the second All India Conference of COITU in Madurai, let it be a rallying cry for the oppressed. Let the conference ignite a fire of solidarity and a resounding message to the powers that be. The working class will not bow. On the eve of this historic event, our esteemed comrade Anandan, All India Organizing Secretary of COITU, calls upon every worker, every comrade to join hands and make this conference a grand success. Together we march, from darkness into light, from oppression to liberation. Comrades, the time is now. The future is ours to claim. Over to Comrade Anandan.
Comrades, brothers and sisters, I am giving this appeal on the eve of the second All India Conference of Central Organization of Indian Trade Unions, which is going to be held in Madurai on 19th of this month, 2024. When that conference is going to be held, the scenario we find throughout India and in our state is, as far as the working class is concerned, very dark and bleak. In the lighter vein, if we see things in this way, that the industrial sector and the conditions of the working class in that actually at present resembles a football ground where the workers and the owners are the contending players. In the game, for the owner's side, there are many goalkeepers, such as the state, the media, etc., etc., and their money power including. And for the workers' side, there is no goalkeeper at all. For a long period of time, for the goalkeeper side, the trade unions were there as goalkeepers, but now they are not there. So the owners are kicking goals one after another into the goal post of workers and scoring many goals but the workers are at the receiving end. This condition is prevailing. The workers have lost during this period their hard-won right for permanency. Permanency has become the thing of the past for the workers. In every industry, only a few permanent workers are there. And as far as the large-scale industries in the IT sector is concerned, and in the automobile sector, where less than 100 people are there for monitoring the quality control. They are alone treated as permanent workers. The rest are contractual workers. Everywhere contractualization is looming large in the industrial scenario. And if we look at Tamil Nadu, which is an industrial state for long, and the trade union movement was also well entrenched in the textile sector, engineering sector, and so many other sectors also. But now, in the textile sector, what we see is the notorious Sumangali scheme that is there in vogue, where thousands and thousands of small girls aged about 18 and above, working for 3 years period for the pittance of wage. Many ships they are working, and many other atrocities are also perpetrated among them, because nobody is there to give an ear to their grievances. That is the scenario. At the end of the 3 years, they shall be paid a meager amount. The owners are saying that amount can be utilized by the parents of those girls for getting them off married. For such noble cause, they have introduced this scheme. That was their argument. And the impending labor codes become operational. What will happen is, in the industries where the workers are less than 300, the owners can pick out any worker upon their wills and pleasures. The act itself is giving them permission and license to do that. And in the same way, the industrial relations in industries where less than 300 workers are working, the standing orders will not be operational. The owners can do anything they like against the workers. In the private sector, 8-hour working day is not in many industries. 8-hour working day is not there in many industries. The workers are working more than 12 hours in those industries. The workers who are not prepared to do that, they are sent out of employment with impunity. No trade union organization is there to oppose that. That is the thing. And the workers used to get certain benefits out of labor laws so far. And there were institutions and avenues for them to approach when they are penalized illegally, immorally, and in an unjustified manner by the owners, by raising disputes. The labor officers were playing an important role in that. Almost for every district one labor office was there beforehand. But the labor code prescribes only 2 labor officers for the whole state. You imagine what will happen. Thousands and thousands of disputes will be rising. To hear them, there will only be 2 labor officers. Ever mounting disputes will be there in the labor offices. The legal avenue is also shut out virtually. Even though the claim will be made, definitely made that we are having labor officers for hearing the grievances of the workers. That way, every year or in every quarter, we see in newspaper, this industry has gained so much. The profit percentage has risen to such a level, etc., etc. All this is happening, but the people who are working in those industries are suffering and suffering. That is the thing. How these profits are being made? They are being made out of the wage component of labor. They are reducing the wage component of labor day in and day out in industries that are there everywhere. All these notorious developments have taken place in the early 90s of the last century. During that period, the capitalist globalization was speedily coming into our country. Red carpet welcome was given to that globalization. But why globalization have come that time? Actually, capitalism, which will start in one country, will become multinational and international, slow by slow, everywhere. That is the normal happening. But the capitalist liberalization was brought about with a force and speed we have never seen. Why they choose that period? Because that was the period where socialism fell in Union of Soviet Socialist Republics and the East European countries. Not only that, in the People's Republic of China, where the great leader, Comrade Mao Zedong, was heading the revolution, the capitalist rulers under the leadership of Deng Xiaoping occupied office. And there also capitalism, not capitalism in the real sense of the term, social imperialism that has come into power. These two events are not simply coincidental. The capitalist imperialist countries of the entire Europe and America were waiting for such a situation to emerge. The fall of socialism emboldened them, and they brought about this capitalist globalization. The capitalist globalization has got some important aspects. They are liberalization, meaning license Raj, if we speak in their own language, will be taken out from the industrial scenario. The owners can start industries as and when they feel necessary. And privatization. The privatization of the erstwhile nationalized sector of industries. Nationalized sector of industries, the workers working there were getting reasonable wages compared to other private sector industries. The government and the state wanted to give these industries also to the owners. Once nationalized sector was developed as the outcome of the 5-year plans for providing infrastructure industries for the development of all the industries, infrastructural industries such as roads, electricity, communication, iron and steel, and railway transportation. But if the prices of the product of these industries are high, then industrial development will not take place. Taking that into account, in order to provide these benefits at cheaper rates, nationalization was done. But after a particular period of time, when utilizing all these facilities, the owners of our country became richer and richer. Those owners who have started at a small level, when they become monopoly, they also wanted to take the industries under this nationalized sector, feeding to their demand and utilizing this globalization. Privatization Act was letting out in full swing. And another aspect of globalization is making structural changes and economic reforms. In our country, whatever that is being brought in the name of reforms are all anti-worker policies. Whatever they do against the workers, they call it reforms. That way, many reforms depriving the workers of their hard-won rights were brought about on the eve of this globalization. When this all-out attack was coming out, everybody view and think that this is the right time where militant working class movement will burst out throughout the breadth and length of the country, because the attack is such fierce that way every right thinking people thought, but that has not happened. Why? The trade unions were not ready to do that. What was the cause? the trade unions functioning from independence until that time were the trade unions which were following legalism. Legal trade unions they were. They have not combined movements and legality for winning the demands of the workers, but they were following only legalism. Whatever movement they have brought about namesake, they were all token movements, not the real movements. So, when real movements were the need of the hour, the trade unions have become nowhere. And that was the period when the ruling classes and their mouthpieces were crying hoarse over the rooftop that the trade unions have been shown the door. They are no longer existing. That was their jubilation. This condition has sidelined even the left trade unions also to the government and public sector, where as model employer, government cannot take recourse to illegal means. Utilizing this, all their trade unions have become well entrenched in government and public sector industries. The options of the working class politics have not only affected the trade union movement, it has affected the politics of our country also. Whatever semblance of democracy was there in our country was being put an end to, and fascism took recourse to it. Actually, fascism, about fascism, so many definitions are there. Military dictatorship, that was the definition everybody will accept. But those people who are crazy about militarization, they alone will bring about fascism. That was the best argument floated by the capitalist media all over the world. But in reality, fascism is an anticipatory move to stall proletarian revolution, the impending proletarian revolution. That is the real truth. The truth came out from the mouth of a valiant communist comrade Clara Zetkin of Germany. She also taught the working class of the world that the working class of the world should take the lesson that fascism was the punishment given by the capitalist, imperialist and corporate houses for the failure of the working class of these countries to bring about proletarian revolution. But utilizing this condition, the ruling classes in our country also, they are bringing about fascist measures one after another. They are strengthening the state apparatus with new laws, UAPA, NIA, etc., etc. And in their spree of bringing about fascist measures, they are actually attacking the concept of federalism also. So, for bringing fascism, the ruling powers at the center are using ultranationalism as well as religion. They are escorting the people that they are attempting to take our country to the glory of the Vedic ages. Not only the central government led by BJP, the state government is also in Tamil Nadu, the DMK led state government. They are also using this Tamil pride and their intention to take the Tamil Nadu to the glorious period of Rajaraja and Rajendra Chola. Under these conditions, as fascism is a phenomena which is set out to work in favor of corporate powers, the central government as well as the state governments are vying with one another to bring about more and more anti-worker policies outwardly and surreptitiously. While the capitalist class is doing all these things against the workers, from the side of the working class, no counter current has been created. No plan to stall these actual attacks and programs let out major and severe attacks of the working class. No planning is being done. The trade unions which are duty bound to do that, they are not found anywhere. That is the condition. Hence, this condition demands trade union movement for safeguarding the interest of the workers. The valiant and well-trained goalkeepers are required for doing that great historical job. In that direction, we cannot say that there is no organization is there. There are organizations. There are organizations in Tamil Nadu also, where trade union movement was in its low ebb. There were various movements of the workers of the health sector in Tamil Nadu, one after another. The contract employees working in government hospitals and medical college hospitals, they now have formed their umbrella organization, the COITU trained trade union there. So far, in many ways, they were ill-treated, but now they are feeling some pride, the pride of the working class, the really eligible pride, that pride owes them really, because they are keeping the hospitals nowadays clean as can never be seen in the past. That type of work they are doing, and for them also the COITU has given shelter. Likewise, the COITU is organizing all the contract laborers. Whatever movement that are there in the working class sector of Tamil Nadu, they are by and large the movements conducted by COITU under its valiant leadership. Why QITU is able to do that when all the other organizations are failing on this score? Because QITU is following the working class politics, and it is using the working class politics to guide the workers. The working class politics have given the idea and concept as to how trade unions can be conducted as schools of communism. That way alone, hereafter trade unions can be conducted. Like before, all and sundries cannot develop trade unions because trade unions are different organizations, basically different organizations. They are class organizations. Nobody who is not having any iota of idea of class struggle and class contradiction can develop trade union movement. Only those people who are class conscious and who are out to take out the fundamental change of the society where there is no exploitation, they alone can guide the workers. Not only guide, really guide and lead the workers in the direction of putting an end to the wage slavery they are suffering from at present. Such an organization, the Central Organization of Indian Trade Unions, is going to hold its second All India Conference, as I have stated earlier, in Madurai on 19th of December 2024. That conference is going to chart out program of action for not only the working class of Tamil Nadu, for the working class of India also. Because India also is in need of, dire need of good trade unions. At least in Tamil Nadu, some semblance of trade union movement is there. But in the rest of India, particularly in states like Gujarat, the name of the trade union cannot even be found. That is the condition. In the entire North India, no trade union movement at all. When the workers of 108 ambulance are getting reasonable salary while being compared with other states, the rest of the states where the same workers are not getting wage increase, etc., they are getting dismissal orders, termination orders, and these are the things that are there. And the trade union, the correct trade union, is the need of the hour. The revolutionary trade union, guided by the working class politics, is the need of the hour. That trade union is none else than Central Organization of Indian Trade Unions. The working class of India as well as the working class of Tamil Nadu is duty bound to make that conference a grand success by offering their help and support, both material and manual. They should come forward to make this conference a grand success, so that the message of this conference will reach the breadth and width of the country, and it will grip the minds of the working class, so that they also shall be organized under the umbrella of that organization, and The historically inevitable fundamental change in the society will be accomplished by the working class in course of time. With these words, I bring to an end to this appeal. Workers of all countries unite. Inqilab Jindabad.